Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute. So, I just finished my final spring semester ever, and I learned a lot about myself, how I study, what not to do, and yeah, like I've been processing a lot of this, and I've learned that I need to go about my study habits very differently. Every time I try to film a video, there's always loud noises. Why is this happening? But yeah, without further ado, let's just jump into it. So on day one, which was Sunday, May 12th, I had a Sunday reset. I cleaned, I did my laundry, I started some study guides, and I did a lot of self-care. So I think it started out really nice. If there's one thing I learned about that was that it's really good to give yourself a day of just nothing to do, because the first day is actually how I messed up. I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I didn't feel prepared and I needed more time to rest. So instead of using my Sunday reset to actually rest, I used it to be as productive as I possibly could, which honestly, in reality, like that can be a good thing, but mentally it was actually like messing me up because I felt like I had this pressure to do everything right. And even though I finished my Sunday reset and I had a good evening, I was so stressed out by the fact that I hadn't finished cleaning certain things. My room was still messy. I mean, I'm sure you can see now, I'm sitting on my bed. It's not made, and that's okay. And that's like the biggest thing I learned, is that not everything has to be perfect. But yeah, so Sunday was okay. Moving on to Monday, which was the last week of classes and when I had actual exams to do. At my college, we have like in-person exams and we also have online exams or finals. So I had 4 exams that I needed to do for my final spring semester. I had a cultural psychology exam on Wednesday. I had a Roman history exam that was, it wasn't on a certain time or day. You had to do that within a 24-hour period from Saturday to Sunday. I had my social psych exam at 11:30 on next Monday, as well as my film final. On Monday, I went to the last few classes. I started working on a study guide. It was still really good. It was off to a good start. And honestly, immersing myself in that again and just like kind of like screwing my head on and saying like, okay, this is it. We're at the final stretch. We have to wrap things up now and we have to lock in. We need to lock in. So Monday was really good. I was doing some study guides. I was doing written notes because I felt like I was retaining everything better. And that's honestly another really good trick. If you're trying to study, instead of using Quizlet or using online notes, it's always good to write your notes out. Tuesday, I had my last Afro Studies class. I was taking Afrofuturism Females. It was a super interesting class, but unfortunately, some life events happened where the class could not do like the completed structure like it was supposed to do. So I went to my last class on Tuesday, and that was fine. I got to say goodbye to my friends, and that was a little bit melancholic. That's when it started to kick in, like, oh, things are ending now. And that really did something up here. However, in order to like kind of screw my mind back on, I decided I was gonna go get coffee. And that was really nice to get outside. And that was another big thing I learned. I needed more outside time. You need to take care of your body. You need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your mind. Being locked in a room all day trying to study for exams is not it. That is not the way to go. So I went outside, I took a walk, and I got coffee, which was really nice. But when I got back home and I was back in my room, I just felt so unmotivated to do things. Even though I had started working on study guides, I just didn't feel like they were right, and I felt like I had to redo them. So because of that, I had to restart everything because I threw out everything, and that was just such a mess. Ugh. So Tuesday happened, it was a bit messy, but then going in Wednesday, oof. So that's always my busy day. I have class from 8:40 a.m. until 8:30 p.m. So those days are always so nuts. I don't even want to talk about this day. I was a mess. I was all over the place. I couldn't study at all. I said goodbye to all the people in my Roman history class, and I was like distraught because that was the last goodbye I had to do. So I was just such a mess. I couldn't focus on anything. Anytime a friend texted me and they were like, oh, I had such a good semester with you, I was feeling so emotional. I couldn't get any work done. I also forgot to say, on Wednesday, that's when I took my cultural psych exam, and I did really good on it. I got a 95, which was impressive for me. I didn't expect to get that, so I was really excited about that. But feeling like I was going to do worse had me so stressed out that I couldn't even focus the rest of the day. However, I did do something good for myself, and I allowed myself to get a treat that always makes me feel good. So it's not the healthiest of things, but I got Papa John's pizza, and it was so good. I felt great that night, and I actually ended up doing more studying, even though I was a mess. So the thing about Thursday, that is the day my college has their drinking day. That is when everybody goes out to the bars at night. Little side note, so my friend that I usually go and do that with moved, and I hadn't had Thirsty Thursday in a bit. And that was really weighing on my mind too. I felt like a huge part of my social life got cut out. And because of that, I started to spiral. And I did something really bad. And I don't recommend anybody does this. But what happened? So I studied in the morning, and then around 4 o'clock when I was like, I wish it was Thirsty Thursday, I realized, oh, I can do it myself. I went to the store with my boyfriend, the liquor store, in fact, and I got a bottle of wine, and I didn't do anything the rest of the day. Truthfully, I didn't get like so drunk that I couldn't do anything, but I couldn't work on anything because I was tipsy. And then when I had stopped being tipsy, I had to go to a club meeting, and I was fine at the club meeting. By then I had sobered up. Like, I would never recommend going to clubs or classes intoxicated. That is a huge no-no. Don't ever do that. I went to the club meeting and I was emotional again, and I had a very emotional goodbye with all my friends, and to me, I took that as saying goodbye to my social life completely. So that really messed up my mentality. By the time Friday came along, I didn't want to do anything. I slept all day. I barely got any work done. I couldn't focus on any of my exam guides because I felt very alone. I did do the right thing. I ended up calling my friend who had moved, and I said, can we hang out? And we did that, and it really helped bring me back to life. But those 2 days were a bit chaotic because I just can't work right. So So I did mention my Roman exam was from Saturday to Sunday. So the only thing I did do right that weekend, I got up and I did my Roman exam and I aced that shit, which is good. I really needed that. I really needed to like lock in and tell myself I can do this and it's okay if I fail, because that's teaching me that I still need to improve on things. Even if you fail, it doesn't mean that you are a failure. It means that you can grow. This is an opportunity to grow. That mentality really helped me push through. I was able to complete my film exam. Also, what happened was that I felt like I was overwhelmed by my social psych exam. It was really hard for me to sit down and accept the fact that I wasn't prepared for it, and I knew that I should have been studying more for it. So the outcome for the social psych exam, I never went. Hello, this is Rain from the future. I just want to clarify, I went inside the study hall and I immediately left. Don't recommend that. I'm probably going to get a 70 in this class because of that. And that stings because I spent a whole semester working really hard trying to get a good grade for that class, only for one mistake of mine to really push me back. So this leads me into discovering that I still have a fixed mindset about things. So if you aren't familiar with fixed or growth mindsets, so a fixed mindset is when you feel like your abilities and your academic success is a fixed trait. It means that you believe you have to hit points in order to succeed. That is how I lived my entire life. Now there's also growth mindset. Growth mindset means that you see failure as an opportunity to change. You see it as a reason to grow. When you make academic success a part of your self-esteem and you base your ability to do anything on academic success or work success or anything else related to that, you're actually risking your competence because you're not valuing what you're learning. You think you need to know something in order to boost a trait, and you won't see it as the reason why you're growing. Having to process that has been difficult because it makes me aware that I have made a mistake this entire finals week, and I'm learning to sit with it and learning to be okay with it. And my main takeaway that I want everybody to leave with this is that it is okay to make mistakes as long as you are aware of them and you know that it's not the end of the world. And that was something I really needed to learn and hear when everything was falling apart, was that this is coming along for a reason. This is teaching me to grow as a person and to get better. And my biggest hope is that because summer's coming right around the corner, I hope I don't lose this newfound motivation to work on myself and get better. I have one more semester in the fall and like that's it. And I really want to prove that I can change how I see academic success. As someone who grew up in a house where academic success meant that was my entire being, it was really important to me that everything looks picture perfect. This is the first time ever I've failed at something, and I'm learning that it's not just a failure, but it's an opportunity. Thank you for coming along and listening to this video. I know it's quite chaotic and I'm still kind of all over the place, but I really wanted to document this so I can look back on it in the future and learn from myself again. As I conclude, I am going to take a rest and give myself the self-love, self-care that I desperately need. Thank you so much for watching. Love you. Bye.